Ahoy, ahoy. I'm going to hang here for 1 second. While you're here, I'm curious if you already have, let's see if I can figure out who is actually here. If you already have clients or if you're looking to get your first client, that would be really helpful for me because that's what this piece is going to be about, is getting your first client as a coach. Cool. That would mean does not or not for them, and that is all right. Okay, well, in that case, we will begin. Highlights will be put on the Barbell Logic Academy Instagram channel, and the recording will be put on the YouTube channel, our Barbell Logic YouTube channel. So if you happen to drop in, drop out, that's fine. You'll be able to catch it then. Cool, glad to know. Because what we're going to be talking about today is how to get your first client as a strength coach, as a personal trainer, however you personally see yourself in the fitness industry. How do I get my first client? One thing, this is probably the most common question that we get at the Barbell Academy because a lot of students come in and they're not fully coaches yet. Maybe they're starting coaching as a side hustle, or like they're kind of that guy at the gym who people ask questions and they're kind of passionate about it, but they're not sure if they want to do this professionally. And a lot of the advice out there for new coaches looking to get clients, or looking for coaches looking to get clients in general, in my opinion, is just bad. And it's not because it's wrong. It's often very right for its audience, but the audience is almost always people who are already personal trainers, people who are already coaches. And just like with our clients, a novice lifter doesn't need an advanced lifters program. A brand new coach who doesn't have any clients doesn't need a launch sequence with a funnel and a social media channel and plan the way that someone who is more intermediate or advanced as a coach may need to do in order to keep the lead train going. So what does a novice coach, maybe someone who's not even professionally a coach yet, need to do in order to get their first client? So we built this into our online coaching excellence course we released recently, and it comes up all the time in our coaching calls. We call it the close circle approach because it's reaching out first and foremost to your close circle. The close circle is kind of obviously family, friends, coworkers, peers in community with you that you are already in. So whether that's your church or your Boy Scout troop, you're one of the den dads, something like that, any community in which you're in. For the past 5 years, I'd say, you can reach as far back as you can remember, but most of the people that we work with can remember back the last 5 years and have that kind of contact information. And the first thing that we do is the very first thing that we do is know what we want from them when we make our ask, when we tell them that we are now coaches. And it seems like a silly thing, like I want clients, of course, but what does that actually mean when you're just starting as a new coach? Do you want an ongoing client for month to month to month online programming and nutrition coaching? Do you want to do one-off sessions in the gym where it's like an intro to barbells or an intro to training? All of those are viable options. So know what it is that you want before you go to ask. And then the second thing is be ready to say yes. This is another big thing. People announce, I'm a coach now. And they get a friend who's like, oh my God, I'm looking for a coach. Okay, cool. People announce like, hey, I'm looking for a coach. That's awesome. And then they're like, oh crap. I guess I've got to get connected with a gym. I guess I need the equipment. How do I schedule this thing? So put in a little bit of work up front. It doesn't take that long based on what it is that you're looking to do to know what you are going to do when they say yes. So from the comment, both, if you're looking to do both, if you're looking to do one-off sessions, if you're looking to do ongoing training, know whether it's going to be in person or online. Decide that for yourself before you make the ask. And then know how you're going to onboard them. How are you going to schedule? Do you already have a relationship with a gym? Do you have a home gym? And figure out when somebody says yes, boom, I can click and I have a message where I can send, here's where we're going to go. Here's what we're going to do this first session. So once you're ready to say yes, then reach out personally to that close circle. I say personally because a lot of people, they're like, I announced it on my Instagram. I posted it on my Facebook and it didn't go anywhere. Ugh. Well, impersonal or indirect messages don't tend to do very well, for one, just period, because like the person reading it doesn't feel like this is for me. But even more importantly, or not more importantly, but just as importantly, social media algorithms suck. So if you just announce that you're doing something, the odds that everyone who is a good candidate is going to see it is slim. So send DMs, send emails, make phone calls, whatever is the relationship that you have with these people in your close circle. And it doesn't have to be salesy, like this isn't a multi-level marketing scheme. It's just an email saying, hey, so-and-so, I'm coaching now. You may include a brief summary about why you're getting into coaching, why you're passionate about it. You honestly don't have to. Again, that depends on your relationship. And let them know you're available and how they can reach out. If you're looking to professionalize it, you can also leave like a social media channel or someplace where you're going to keep content running so that they can be front of mind, like a newsletter. But that can be it. Just, hi, I'm coaching. If you're interested, here's how you reach me. As long as it's personal, as long as it's direct to your close circle, it's almost amazing how many times you find like, yeah, I've been looking for a coach for a month. I had no idea that Bob, who I was working with 2 years ago, was always had questions for me and never thought that he could ask. So the last question that always comes up is free or paid? How much do I charge? What should my price be because I'm a new coach? Because as a brand new coach, maybe not even a professional coach, we honestly shouldn't be afraid of charging. Like what we do is a service, but maybe we're just learning. Maybe we're just students, or maybe we don't know how much to charge. The first thing I say, it's probably wise for your very first opportunity to pitch yourself as a learner, to pitch it as a new venture, and to offer at a lower price than you intend to eventually. Because that, like, that's more enticing. It leaves more open space, but it also frees you from, I have to deliver this amazing service or else like imposter syndrome, all that jazz. If you acknowledge from the front and you're honest about your experience, it's a lot easier to ask questions, to get feedback, to learn from your first client. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be free, although you can. We'll talk about that in a second. But if you're charging less than you eventually will, that inevitably sticks to the problem where like now I'm stuck with this person. I've been working with them for 2 years and like they're paying $30 a month. This isn't sustainable. So with these first clients, I always recommend some kind of time bounding. Like, hey, I'm looking for someone to take through a on-ramp to barbells, like a beginning barbells to get used to the program. I'm looking to work with someone for 3 months while I go through the Barbell Academy and become a professional barbell coach. So go through, like, set a time bound on it. This is a 3-month, engagement. Even if you hope to work with someone month on month on month on month forever, set a time bound on it. And then schedule a renegotiation at the end of it. Hey, this has been great. This was my introductory rate as I was learning. Going forward, I would be charging X, and then take it from there. The one other thing that I also, when it comes like free versus paid, I always say get something out of it. Get something out of it beyond just the experience of coaching. Because people are like, oh, I love coaching. Are you going to love it when like you start running out of time, when things feel time crunched, or when you get 5 months in and you don't have any new technique issues to deal with this person? Like they're moving pretty well and their programming is pretty stable. Like, then resentment builds. So make sure you're getting something out of it. A testimonial, a Google review, like feedback sessions built in once every month, a referral, right? So whether you do free or paid, time bound it. You can start charging less and then charge later, more later, something that's more correct to the service that you're delivering, and make sure that you're getting something out of it, even from your very first client. So that's what I've got. This is for like, what is a novice coach? What is that very first client? how do I get one and what do I do with this? Like, how do I manage that process? If you have any questions, IG Live is so weird because then I say like questions and it takes a while to type into the thing. If you have any questions, feel free to drop in here in the comments. Happy to address those. Meow about getting your first client. The highlight, like there should be highlights posted from this in the Barbell Logic Academy Instagram channel later on down the line, and the recording will be posted on our YouTube page if you want to come back to it in some detail. We go into this and a lot more detail, specifically in online coaching and how to deliver excellent and efficient online coaching in our new course, Online Coaching Excellence, at barbell-logic.com if you want to check that out. And yeah, that is it. If you are looking to get your first client, I am so excited, whether it's free or paid, doesn't matter, because you're not a coach until you start coaching. Like, you're not a coach until you start helping people. And however you need to cross that line, that's awesome. And I look forward to seeing you run with that. So from Richard, is there a client demographic more likely to work with a new coach outside of our immediate circle? That's a good question. I don't think in terms of demographics in this particular case, like 35 to 45-year-old, industrial men or whatever, like, what those kind of terms. I think more in terms of psychographic, the things that people are looking for. Like, what is the service? What is the problem that you're trying to solve? I think for instance, high school parents trying to get training for their kids are not going to work with a new coach unless they're in your immediate circle. It's just the confidence isn't there, the trust isn't there. Masters athletes, probably not going to work with you if you're brand new, especially if there's fears or uncertainties about injuries. So if you're going to look outside of your immediate circle, you're going to be looking for able-bodied people who are already bought into training to begin with, like training, barbell training, strength training. We've had some people, for instance, have success advertising their starting as a student within Reddit groups that were already dedicated to fitness. And keep in mind, if you're going to do this through social media or any other platform, what are the rules of that platform? Don't be that guy who gets kicked out of every Facebook group because you're like advertising and they don't like that. But just say, hey, I'm starting as a student. I'm offering this for free. Please reach out. Is one option that we have had some people successfully take. And in groups that are already into fitness, with people who have different levels of experience and engagement, there are often plenty of novices in those groups. We have gotten some take up through that. Yeah, that's a good question. Especially if you're going to start online and you really want to execute online, you have a few more opportunities in that respect than you might in person. But one of the issues, or I'm not going to say issues, one of the blinders that when people start thinking, I want to do online coaching, is they start thinking that they have to launch on social media. They need a large following. They need a large lead. When online coaching is a delivery platform, it is a way that we deliver programming and technique review. And so you could actually get all of your clients. You can find all of your clients in person and deliver online. Some of our most successful coaches at Block, they had an interesting practice where they would do one-off sessions, for instance, at their home gym, garage kind of setup. And they would offer, they would take a before and after video. And I stole this from them because it was great when I was starting as a coach. They would take a before and after video of their squat technique and their other lifts through their session. And they would send the before and after video after the session. It was not, pre-announced. This was a delighter, is one thing it's typically called in the industry. But they would send the before and after videos along with a technique review and notes to remember from the session, like things to remember when you go to train on your own. And they would end essentially, and by the way, if you want me to provide this kind of technique review for you while you work through this on your own, you can sign up to train with me online, And they would often convert one-off sessions, oftentimes people on travel, oftentimes people who just they weren't interested in the high cost of one-on-one personal training. They have a fantastic session with you. They can tell their technique is better. They appreciate the form technique feedback that you're giving them. And then they're like, oh, I can do this online. So yeah, there are a lot of opportunities out there in the online space if you're willing to look hybrid, look online and in person as well. Great question. Thank you. You're going to have to excuse me. There's not enough coffee in the world. Any last questions or thoughts? Feel free. Like I said before, the highlights will get posted on the Instagram page, and then the full video should get posted up on our YouTube channel. We cover these topics and a lot more in our new online coaching excellence course about how to deliver online coaching in a way that is super efficient and really effective so that clients still feel like they get high touch, high value service from online coaching, even if they're not going to get that kind of one-on-one in-person time from you all of the time. Thanks to everyone who can make it. Sincerely appreciate it. Appreciate the questions. Please appreciate the interaction. And I will catch you next week where we will be talking about, hey, New Year's resolutions. So the title of it is How Are Those New Year's Resolutions Looking? But it's going to be not just on like our coaching business or, our own practices, but also our clients. So, and how we can facilitate kind of kicking that momentum back into gear. And thank you, and I will see you around.